Welcome to the Deep Dive, your shortcut to being well informed. Today, we're diving into something that, well, hits home for a lot of people. The challenge of quitting smoking. If you're listening, you probably know someone, maybe it's even you, who feels kind of trapped by it, right? Convinced that breaking free is just this massive uphill battle. Impossible, almost. But what if the real key, the thing that actually makes it stick, isn't just gritting your teeth and using willpower? What if it's about understanding your own mind a bit deeper? We're going to look into how one guy, Jurgen, who smoked for over 30 years, actually managed to quit pretty easily. Sounds surprising, I know, but he talks about just flipping a mental switch. Okay, let's unpack this, because this isn't just, another method. It feels more like a fundamental shift in how you even think about smoking, a path to real freedom.
That's absolutely our mission today. We want to explore how smoking is, it's way more than just a physical thing. It's what the material calls a sneaky addiction, really rooted deep down in our minds. So we'll arm you with some powerful insights, drawing from things like neuro-linguistic programming NLP, ideas to help you challenge those beliefs that kind of keep you stuck on cigarettes. The goal, ultimately, is to help you shift from that feeling of, ugh, I have to quit, into something much more empowering, like, you know what, I just don't want to smoke anymore.
Jurgen's story really helps ground all this, doesn't it? Like, he started out believing smoking was nice, that it had advantages, and quitting, oh, that was going to be very difficult. These were solid beliefs for him.
Sure.
Yeah, and he remembers back when cigarettes were just, everywhere at parties, on the tables, people smoking indoors without a second thought. It's kind of wild how much that's changed the whole public view. But for Jurgen himself, the personal reality just got impossible to ignore. He talks about always being short of breath, bad breath, having zero fitness, catching every cold going around. He felt this growing weakness, and this is key, a kind of secret jealousy towards people who'd managed to quit. He had to face it. He was, as he put it, completely hooked, just living for the next cigarette.
You know, what's fascinating about that initial experience he describes, it's so common. I mean, think about it. Nobody starts out liking smoke. Our first reaction is usually, ugh, coughing, it's unpleasant. Yet smokers somehow become these, go-getters in a strange way. They push past that initial yuck factor. They practice inhaling again and again until they can do it without coughing. It's actually perseverance, just aimed the wrong way.
Huh. Never thought of it like that. Perseverance.
Right. So this brings us to a really core truth. Smoking isn't just a habit, it's an addiction. A mix of the physical and the mental dependence. And here's where it gets really interesting. That physical nicotine addiction. The part people often dread the most, that's actually, believe it or not, the easier piece to tackle.
Oh, really?
Easier. Yeah, nicotine clears out of your system relatively fast. Most of those physical withdrawal feelings, they significantly drop off after just, say, 2 or 3 weeks. The material we looked at suggests that the mental part, that's the big one, like maybe up to 90% of the addiction, which explains why things like nicotine gum or patches often don't lead to quitting for good.
Ah, okay. Because they keep feeding the physical side.
Exactly. They keep that nicotine dependence going, but they don't really touch the underlying psychological battle.
That makes a lot of sense. That physical versus mental addiction split is just
Hey.
crucial, because so much of what drives us, the good stuff and the bad, is happening upscales,
Yeah.
often without us even noticing. So you mentioned our thoughts keep us smoking. Can we actually turn that around? Use those same thoughts to help us stop? How does something like NLP help with that flip?
Absolutely. That's precisely the idea.
Yeah.
And to get how we can redirect those thoughts, we need to talk about the subconscious mind. You often hear it compared to an iceberg, right?
Yeah, the tip above the water.
Right. That's your conscious mind, your logic, your day-to-day decisions. But that huge hidden part underneath, that's the subconscious. And it's influencing your behavior, your feelings, your thoughts all the time, often without you being fully aware. That's where the real power and the ingrained patterns actually live. So if we connect this to the bigger picture, the subconscious is this deep, complex part of us. It holds all our memories, our impressions. It's where emotions bubble up. It runs out automatic habits, walking, breathing, smoking. And it also acts like a protector for the body. It always holds what it thinks is a positive intention for you.
Wait, hang on. A positive intention?
Yeah.
Even for something like smoking, which is clearly harmful.
Yeah.
That sounds counterintuitive. How does that work?
Yeah, it's a really key point. The subconscious's positive intention isn't based on long-term health logic. It might be trying to help you handle stress right now or feel like you fit in or just give you what feels like a moment of relief. So when you light up, part of your mind might genuinely think, this helps me relax, even while another part knows it's bad for you. It's focused on that immediate perceived benefit, even if it's totally an illusion.
Okay, I see. Immediate gratification overriding long-term sense.
Kind of, yeah.
Mm,
And this leads to some really interesting quirks about the subconscious. It learns through repetition. That's
yeah.
how habits get locked in. It's also kind of lazy. It prefers the easy path, the familiar routine. And crucially, this is vital for quitting. It doesn't really process negatives, doesn't understand not. If you tell yourself, I must not smoke, it hears smoke.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah, it takes things very literally. And it only operates right now, in the present. It doesn't really grasp past or future in the way our conscious mind does. Understanding that is how we start to speak its language, how we can begin to reprogram it.
That's huge.
Yeah.
It's telling yourself, don't think about pink elephants is basically...
Immediately picture a pink elephant. Knowing it doesn't get not is a game changer.
Okay, so inside the subconscious, you mentioned these subpersons. What are they exactly? And how does this smoker subperson fit in?
Think of subpersons as just different facets of you, parts responsible for certain ways of thinking or acting. Like you might have a planner part or maybe a procrastinator part.
Got it. Different roles we play internally.
Exactly. And for smokers, there's often a really strong one, the smoker subperson.
Right. And here's where it gets really interesting, based on what Jurgen found. This smoker part often feels kind of dissatisfied, right? Clings to negative stuff. Its core feeling is often described as pain, and it's looking for outside help, support, and finds it in the cigarette, sees it as a friend. And this part holds those really strong beliefs like smoking is nice, or it helps me chill out, or helps me concentrate, or even it stops me putting on weight. These aren't just passing thoughts, they're like bedrock beliefs we need to tackle head on.
And to really break free from that mental grip, there are two absolutely crucial steps according to this material. First, you've got to consciously connect with that smoker part inside you. Acknowledge it, understand its misguided intentions. And second, you have to actively work to change your core beliefs about smoking. If you just ignore this part or try to rely only on willpower, well, it rarely works long term. That part of your mind just keeps pushing back, maybe with mood swings or sudden, intense cravings.
Yeah, the willpower thing often feels like fighting yourself.
It is. And the source material really exposes what it calls the smoking devil, which is just the cigarette itself. It's such a powerful way to think about it. The cigarette is both the problem and the pretend solution.
How so?
Well, it creates that edgy, restless feeling from the nicotine craving.
And then lighting up seems to make it go away for a bit.
Exactly. It breaks your focus with the craving, then seems to help you focus when you smoke. It's this really sneaky, self-feeding loop designed to keep you hooked.
Jurgen really saw that too. He realized, back when he didn't smoke, he obviously didn't need it. So why did he think he needed it now? His mantra became really simple. Smoking does absolutely nothing positive. It just poisons you slowly, destroys your health bit by bit.
Precisely. And to take down those limiting beliefs that the smoker part clings to, you need to gather overwhelming proof against them. Let's break down a few common ones using Jurgen's insights. Like the belief, smoking helps me relax. Does it, really? You might get a quick hit of relief as the craving stops for a moment. But the reality, smoking actually stresses your body. Your heart rate goes up, blood pressure too. It only eases the tension that the nicotine withdrawal itself caused.
So it fixes a problem created.
Perfectly put. Once the craving comes back, so does the stress. It's a false friend. Or how about, I enjoy smoking? What's truly enjoyable is maybe that first puff that scratches the itch, satisfies the craving. But the actual smoke, it's often harsh, makes you cough, irritates your throat. It's the relief from addiction that feels like pleasure, not the act itself. Wouldn't it just be better to not have that nicotine hunger constantly nagging you?
Makes sense.
Then there's smoking keeps my weight down. Okay, maybe there's a tiny metabolic effect, but we're talking maybe 1 or 2 pounds difference max. Any real weight gain after quitting usually comes from swapping cigarettes for snacks or just eating more. Exercise is obviously a much healthier, much more effective way to manage weight.
Right. Trading one habit for another, often less healthy one.
Exactly. And then the biggie. Quitting smoking is hard. This is the belief that keeps so many people stuck. But the material argues it's simply not true if you have the right mindset. If you frame it as, I choose to quit because you genuinely don't want to smoke anymore, your subconscious can actually become your ally. But if you tell yourself, I must not smoke, remember, it doesn't process that.
It fights you,
Yeah?
making it feel incredibly hard.
Precisely. Which brings up a really important question for anyone listening. What restrictive learned negative thoughts, maybe fears about getting irritable or gaining weight or failing. What thoughts have held you back before? And how can you start actively challenging and overturning those right now?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it? So these restrictive thoughts,
Yeah.
that's what we're tackling directly with these new beliefs and the practical steps we're about to get into. So once we do that mental prep, that big step of actually quitting, it shouldn't feel quite so, well, big.
Exactly right. We're aiming squarely at those restrictive thoughts. The material even suggests redefining smoke itself as an acronym to hammer home the negativity. Smells miserable, offensive, kills, exhausting. It's about totally reframing it inside out. And to put this into real action, we've pulled out 5 key NLP-based steps that the source suggests can make a massive difference. Okay, first, install new positive beliefs. You need to consciously, actively adopt beliefs like, I don't need smoking, quitting is actually easy for me, or smoking is just a dirty, expensive addiction. Remember how the subconscious learns through repetition? You need to feed it overwhelming proof for these new beliefs. Think of all the millions of non-smokers thriving without it, the money saved, the physical evidence like yellow teeth, bad breath, the cough.
So you're consciously arguing against the old beliefs.
Yes. Write these new beliefs down. Read them daily, morning, night. You're literally reprogramming your mind, giving it new instructions. Second step, use affirmations. These are short, strong, positive statements you repeat often. Say them out loud, with conviction. Maybe even looking in the mirror. And here's the trick. Phrase them in the present tense, as if it's already true.
Because the subconscious only gets the now.
Exactly. So you say, I am a happy non-smoker, or I feel so good now that I don't have to smoke anymore. You're painting the desired reality for your subconscious right now. Third, use visualization. Find a quiet moment, relax, close your eyes, and really vividly imagine yourself as a non-smoker. See yourself happy, healthy, maybe having a coffee outside, breathing easily, feeling free, without any cigarettes. Engage all your senses in this mental movie, the smells, the feeling of freedom, the joy. Because your subconscious responds strongly to this kind of imagery, it starts accepting this positive future you're choosing.
Like a mental rehearsal for success.
Precisely. Fourth, formulate a SMART goal. Make your quitting goal specific. I will permanently stop smoking all tobacco. Measurable. How will you know? No smell, more energy, feeling proud. Achievable. It has to be your choice. Realistic. Yes, you absolutely can do it. And time-bound. Pick a specific date, maybe week 33 this year or August 1st. Give yourself maybe 3 weeks of prep time using these techniques. And importantly, the advice is don't try to cut down first. Every cigarette reinforces the addiction. The goal is total freedom, not just smoking less poison.
Go all in.
Yes. And finally, fifth, make an agreement with yourself. Write out a smoking cessation agreement, like a personal contract. Declare your commitment to stopping for good. List the downsides of smoking you're leaving behind and list the benefits you're choosing. Health, energy, confidence, money, freedom. Sign it on your quit date. Make it official. It gives your subconscious that concrete action it likes.
Those steps really do shift it from just willpower to a mental strategy. And leading up to that quit date, the source talks about the last pack ritual, which sounds intense. It's not just finishing them off, is it? It's about doing it consciously, almost like saying goodbye. Buy that last pack, telling yourself, okay, this is the very last money I ever waste on this. Then, as you smoke each one, you really pay attention. Focus on the nasty smell, the scratchy throat, the bad taste, how it makes you feel slightly breathless. And with each puff, actively picture how amazing freedom will feel, getting rid of this dirty addiction. And the message is clear. Don't put it off. You're going to realize smoking adds 0 good things to your life, so why delay getting free?
Exactly. No benefit to waiting.
Okay, now let's talk about what many people fear most, the withdrawal, that horrible feeling everyone expects. The source actually offers some reassurance here, doesn't it?
It does. The good news is if you approach it with that right mindset, I choose to quit, not I can't smoke, the symptoms are often much, much more manageable than people fear. The actual nicotine withdrawal fades pretty quickly. Most physical stuff, irritability, maybe feeling a bit restless or lightheaded, that's largely gone within about 2 weeks. You're not going to be, as the source says, tied to your bed. It's usually not that dramatic.
That's good to hear. So what can you do in those moments when a craving does pop up?
Right, practical stuff. Physical activity helps a lot. Even just doing a few knee bends, tensing your muscles, or taking a quick walk can really dissipate the urge. It shifts your body's energy, sends a new signal to your subconscious. Drink plenty of water, too. It helps flush things out and gives you something to do with your hands and mouth. And maybe, just initially, Steer clear of coffee or alcohol if they're strong triggers for you. Break those old associations.
Replace the old habit pathways.
Exactly. And find a new healthy habit to pour some energy into, something you enjoy. Running, cycling, puzzles like Sudoku. Give your subconscious a new positive pattern to latch onto.
And staying motivated throughout this is key, right? Along with having people who support you.
Absolutely crucial. Keep motivating yourself. Celebrate the small victories, getting through a day, a week. Use those affirmations. Treat yourself with the money you're saving. Reread that agreement you signed. And there's this fascinating tool called the anchor technique from NLP. You can consciously link a strong positive feeling like pride or freedom or confidence to a simple physical action, like maybe squeezing your fist or touching your thumb and finger together.
How does that help?
Well, you practice creating that feeling and doing the action together. Then when a craving hits, you just do the physical action, squeeze your fist, and it helps trigger that positive feeling you link to it, making it easier to ride out the urge. It's like a little mental shortcut, using how your subconscious makes connections.
Wow, like a self-deployed boost.
Kind of. And yeah, surround yourself with positive people who get it, who support you, and eventually become an ambassador yourself. Share your success. Let people know quitting is possible, and maybe not as hard as they think, especially with the right mental tools. And another huge motivator, just how fast your body starts healing. It's pretty incredible. It's like your body's immediately fighting back against that smoking devil's deception. After just one day, your heart rate starts returning to normal. After 2 days, taste and smell start coming back properly. By 3 days, more energy, breathing feels easier. After 1 month, fitness improves, you're less out of breath. And the big one, after 1 year, your risk of heart disease is cut significantly. This amazing rapid recovery is just powerful proof that your body wants to be healthy and that your subconscious can be guided towards that true well-being.
It really puts the risks into perspective, too.
It does. The smoking devil wants you to forget the serious stuff. Heart attacks, high blood pressure, clogged arteries, strokes, COPD, lung cancer, other cancers, mouth, throat, cervical eye problems, even Alzheimer's link. But the moment you quit, you start gaining so much. Better health, more energy, more money, senses coming alive again, way more self-confidence, and just freedom. Freedom from being that nicotine junkie, as Jurgen put it. You'll honestly look back and wonder why you let yourself be fooled for so long.
So we've covered a lot of ground, and it really feels like we've unpacked this. Quitting smoking isn't about brute force, is it? It's much more like a strategic mental game, becoming the director of your own thoughts and beliefs. And Jurgen's message is just so powerful. If you could do it after more than 30 years and find it relatively easy by flipping that switch, then really you can too. This approach, understanding your mind, it works.
Which brings us to that final thought to leave you with. Maybe the real mystery isn't why you started smoking all those years ago. Maybe the real mystery is why you let that smoking devil, that illusion, fool you for so long, even when you knew better, even when you wanted something different. But now you have these insights, you have these tools, this understanding of your subconscious. So the real question now is, what are you going to choose to do with this knowledge, with this power? Your journey to real freedom, to vibrant health. It really does start with that one conscious decision.